Okay, so day 3 of this 7 days of gratitude invitation. And I'll be honest, this morning I woke up. Well, I was planning, I had kind of a list of things that I wanted to share that I was grateful for, but then I woke up this morning and I was grateful for something different. So I felt like if it's a real daily journal, I should tell you what I'm grateful for today, right? And so it all kind of started. Last night I went to bed and I was getting ready for bed and I noticed I had kind of this like a blemish, zits on my cheek. And I swear it's mask knee is what it is, right? That's what we're telling ourselves. Anyways, I remember thinking like, oh man, kind of got like a little red patchy rouginess. And then woke up this morning as I'm getting ready for the day. I'm like shaving my head, by the way. This doesn't get shaved, but it got trimmed, which I'm also grateful for by my wife. But anyway, so I'm sitting there, I'm noticing kind of this zitness stuff. And I remember thinking to myself, I was like, oh, that's kind of annoying. You know, here you were when you're like a grown man, you get like pimples. And like, oh. But then I had this thought, there's this saying that keeps running through my head a lot these days. And it was by Kristen Bell, actually, the actress. She had said this one time that she lives her life with this idea that you get to choose between happiness and suffering, that it's always a choice, that you get to decide if you're going to be suffering or happy in any situation. And so as I'm sitting there shaving and brush my teeth and get ready, I have this thought, how can I, these zits are kind of giving me a little ounce of suffering because I'm like thinking about it. I'm like, but then I had this thought, well, aren't our bodies incredible that, a zit, all it is just that it's my body like working, like it's getting obviously there's some foreign body that's in my skin and it's trying to get it out. And so I was like, well, that's kind of cool. And then as I'm doing that, I start thinking to myself I'm like, yeah, and I wish I could lose a couple pounds and more than a couple, but lose some weight. And then I start thinking to myself, but that's also my body just like working because as I've abused it, it's storing away all the stuff for later so that I'm like, thanks, body. I'm super well equipped for the trek across the desert that I'm inevitably going to take. And, but I just kept having these thoughts about this I was just grateful for me, for the body that I've been given, for the skin that I'm in. I thought that's pretty spectacular. So I started thinking the same thing about how, we are all, each one of us is a limited edition. Each one of us is one of a kind. And, I'm one of a kind. And I was super thankful for that this morning. And it got me thinking, I'm obviously I like to collect things, geeky stuff. And I kind of attended virtually the DC Comics convention this year. And as part of it, I totally bought myself some swag. And one of them, so I got this, to my wife's eye rolling, this like, it's like a Wonder Woman like Grecian statue. But as part of it, it's a limited edition thing, right? So on the bottom, it even says that it's, what is it, number like 2060 out of 2,500. So they've only made 2,500 of them, and I got one of them, and it's stamped with a number. That's cool, and so it adds value, right? So it's a valuable thing because it's a limited run or a limited edition of something. But then literally as I'm sitting there getting ready, I think to myself, wait, I'm a limited edition. Like there's only one Dustin. I'm not one of 50 or one of 100 or one of, whatever, even 10. Every single one of us is unique. And so I think my gratitude today was that individuality that we each have and the just my body, that it's working, that it's healthy, that it's strong, and that I get this gift while I'm here on Earth, and so that was super cool for me to think about, and made me want to take better care of it and be mindful of it and not take it for granted. And so I guess that's even a teaser because my wife and I are going to be starting kind of a funny little challenge on Friday for science. So we're going to be posting that up. So stay tuned for that. But anyways, that's what I'm grateful for today. I don't know if I can sum it up in words because saying I'm grateful for my body sounds wrong and selfish or weird, but I'm grateful for who I am. I'm grateful for me, and I think that I another thought just as I wrap up was same thing as I thought about shaving even my head. Even as that started to happen, my forehead started getting bigger, right? And I was worried and got self conscious about it. And then my wife supported me and saying, "Hey, just shave it off. Own it. Be awesome with it." And I'm like, "Yeah, yeah, yeah. You're right." So we finally do it, and I've it's part of my identity now. I love it, and so it's like another one of those things. It's like rather than be ashamed or embarrassed about these funny little quirks that we all have, it's like that's part of what makes you the limited edition you are, and so I'm grateful for that too. And so there you go, day 3, and we'll see tomorrow what happens for day 4.